Mr. Happy Living here, and I'm happy to be broadcasting from WITV7 in the beautiful Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina, USA. Hey, friends, will you join me for a moment right now and just imagine how amazing you'd feel living the life you were put on this planet to live, doing work you love, with people you love, in places you love, and all the while creating something of real value for others. That's what I call a life of significance. And I can tell you it makes a very happy life. And so can my friend Jill Wright. She's also called the Queen of Shine, and she's my guest star today again. And she's back to share an update about her unique and distinct journey to her life of significance. Hey, Jill, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much, Matt. I'm really happy to be with you. You are doing amazing things in the world, and anything I can do to support people making a difference and feeling that significance and living their purpose and giving God the glory, I am all about that.
Yay. And so that'll be our show today, folks. Thank you very much. No, I guess we'll go on and finish up. So, Jill, I want to switch things up a bit from our regular format. You gave us an inspiring interview way back in October of 2021. It was episode 69, and now you're back for episode 145. And today we're going to talk about the challenging, unexpected, and awesome twist to your business that resulted from your brilliant adaptation to the COVID shutdown. But I want to start at the beginning, way back when you were a teenage girl, suddenly thrust into the world to make it on your own. So will you take us back there and tell us the story that led you to one day be recognized by Forbes and Harvard Business Review for transforming the culture of client-based services?
Well,
take us, a teenage girl.
I absolutely, I will. And this is what I want people to understand. When things happen to you, it's how you respond to those situations. When I was 15, I graduated from high school early. I was salutatorian. I wanted to surprise my dad. And my stepmom told him and messed up that whole situation. So he came to me and he said, I have to choose between you and my stepmom, and I choose her. So as a 15-year-old girl, that's pretty devastating. And I remember sitting on the floor of my bedroom, and this makes me get emotional. I thought, okay, God, it's just me and you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wasn't expecting to be so emotional, but I didn't have a dad anymore.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, God, it's me and you. And so whatever you need me to do, let's do it. And so then I started my journey from that place, which was a choice, whether you're going to let that type of situation destroy you or inspire you. So I wasn't going to let him win. And it was me and God all the way. So that's how it started.
That's awesome. So just in 3 or 4 minutes, I want to share your entrepreneurial story in 3 phases. So pre-COVID, during the COVID shutdown, and post-COVID. So can you just give us the quick version of how you came to be to the trade of shining shoes and to building a company called Executive Shine and to having your business in airports across the country. So give us 3 or 4 minutes on the pre-COVID Jill Wright story.
Okay. In 1987, I had a rollover car accident. My girlfriend was shining shoes. That was the late 80s. The economy was tanking and I wasn't back to work yet. So she said, you should do this with me. And I thought, you are crazy and you must be having one of those midlife crises. And so I started working with her. Then I met a gentleman named Mike Cheston, who ran the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority concessions program. and he asked me, would I be interested? He said, this is the best service I've ever had. Would you be interested in coming to Washington? And I thought, this is great. My brother goes to Johns Hopkins on a full scholarship. I could be with my brother, and that would be fantastic. And so we started the process to come to Washington. That was a long process, responding to requests for proposals and all of that. Then when I started in Washington as a 20-year-old girl who knew nothing about government contracting, I had to succeed. I couldn't fail. I mean, there was no choice. I was going to die. So I had to make it work. So how could this little girl make sure her business is successful and make an impact in the world? Because that's what I care about. And so one of the things I noticed is that all of the people that were coming to see me, Supreme Court justices, CEOs, senators, congressmen, is in Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. So they were empty. They had sold out to make a living. Mm. And they were not living their purpose. Mm. They were doing work, they were going through the motions. And what I learned is one of the most important things that I could do was ask them advice and create a situation for them to feel seen as human beings. And that was all I knew, is that I was curious. I wanted to see who they were and connect with them. And that has been the secret to my business for 37 years now. Awesome. And so that's how we came up with Executive Shine. It's all about the love. Then I got the contract to do the airports in Denver. I built a great team, most of who are still with me. We've been in Denver 28 years. Wow. And then we also opened in the Charlotte airports. And so that's our mission, is Executive Shine. It's all about the love. We are here to make a difference in your life through the doorway of shoeshine, which is kind of crazy. I tell people, if you put a sign up in the airport that said love available here, people would be like, oh no, I'm good. Yeah. And so you just got to serve people and create a business through whatever doorway people are willing to walk through. So they were willing to walk into that, and we could meet them there and serve them. And we call it soul to soul. So
that's great.
That's what I do.
That's great. And so your business is going well. And I've been to your home, and I've seen that you can see your customers flying in to the airport and flying out. And what happened when all the flying stopped and COVID hit? And take us to the second phase here of how you survived during COVID and what your adaptation was coming out of COVID.
I never in a million years thought that I would ever have to shut down. I didn't think I would ever have to shut down. I mean, like, okay, God, I'm doing everything right. I'm loving people. I'm following the rules. I'm making a difference. I just got written up in Harvard Business Review. Things are going really well. And they shut down the airport.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was the most difficult time in my entire life, because not only for me, but I provide a job, income for 100 people.
Yeah.
So I went through a really difficult time, and how I'm thinking, should I have saved every penny I ever made to take care of my people? And what actually happened is that I got more love from my people supporting me, that I didn't have to carry the full load.
That's nice.
than I ever expected. And so through that experience, we were shut down for 3 months. Then Jonathan, everybody was scared to death. Then Jonathan and I came back in June. And then I was also during that period, everybody was saying, you're never going to be able to be in person again. So you've got to create something online, which no offense, but I hate because I'm a soul to soul person. You got to be in front of me. I want to love you. I don't want to be online. Right. So I tried to figure out what else I could do. I built some online courses, the shine principles, master your impact. I thought maybe I can now transition into helping CEOs, transition to really making an impact using the vehicle of their business. And that didn't really work. Online, I didn't have a presence online or any of that. So what happened is I really had a meltdown, and I was like, okay, God, this isn't working, and I'm scared to death. I mean, I'm running out of money. I don't know what I'm going to do. How am I going to support my people? And myself and my 8 dogs and 10 horses, and how am I going to do this? And so I just really had to come to that place of surrender. And I think that's a really important part for listeners to know, that this isn't a really smooth journey that just goes to success. I have a saying, I have to stop being God's right-hand man. I have to stop getting in the way of God's plan for me and how he's put all these things into place and how that works. And so after that weekend, the Monday afterwards, I had a client call me that is running an organization. And he had come and been part of my CEO experience, where they come and spend the day with me, and we learn how to serve soul to soul, not title to title,
So you have CEOs come in and you teach them to get down on their knees and shine each other's shoes. Is that correct?
Well, no. Yes, but no, not at this stage. He had experienced me coming to the airport. So he came to the airport, worked with me. We had done this experience for him alone. Gotcha. And he said, I want to bring this. This is amazing, to learn about human connection. Can you bring that experience to my team? Okay. And I was like, okay. Yeah. And he's like, I can't afford to pay you like $20,000, but I'll pay you well to do this. Can you bring your team to Asheville? We'll fly you there, and we're going to work and incorporate a new value called Serve First. So we went there, we worked with their team. That was really successful and a really powerful experience, because they've never served each other. And what I teach, I hold up a dirty boot in the beginning and I say, what do you see? And they say, duh, Jill, it's a dirty boot. Right. And then I hold up a really shiny one and I say, this is what I see in you. Mm-hmm. So this experience is going to be about learning to serve, to connect, and to really cultivate the beauty in each other through service. And so that's what evolved into creating the Shine experience. And so that is what we're focusing on now. And yes, in answer to what you previously said, we go in, we work with corporate teams, we set it up where they sit down and one person's in a chair, one person's in the floor. we learn to serve each other, and they shine each other's shoes. And
Yeah.
it's amazing because, first of all, they don't think they can. And so we take them through all the steps, so it's easy, and they're so happy with the results. And one of the things we do is when they're massaging in all the conditioner for the leather after they've cleaned off the surface and gotten to the real heart of the leather or the soul of the person, then we tell them, where is the energy in your body? And of course, nobody knows the answer to that question. And so I make it fun. Like, is it in your toes, in your ears, where is it? And wherever it is in your body, I want you to bring it into your heart. And I want you to send that energy of love from your heart through your arms into the person in front of you as you're massaging them and their shoes. And it really makes a significant difference, because then we say, now the person receiving that, do you feel a difference in the energy?
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. That's great.
And then we teach that this can, you can take this. It doesn't have to be for shining shoes. Obviously, you're not going to do that every day, but it works when you're working with a client, when you're sending an email, just to be clear on where you're coming from, your head or your heart.
That's good. And then just tell us, before we kind of wrap up, in the post-COVID time period, you took shoe shining, you expanded it to corporate coaching and to creating the shine experience, which I don't think you ever could have come up with without COVID, because you would have just been shining shoes. And then tell us, how did that, what was the catalyst that led that into the shine experience for children? Because that must be so fun. I'm really excited about
that. Is my favorite. That's my passion place, is supporting our young people, because they're our future.
Yep.
And so I was part of a church book club, and I was talking to the youth director, and I said, I really would love to do this for kids. This is what I'm doing for corporate teams, but my real passion is doing it for youth. And she said, oh my God, that would be fabulous. We would love that. So we just created the same experience for young people, and we brought them together, and they were really able to see the power of service and what it feels like to make someone in front of you look good. And it was a church youth group, so we talked about how the disciples must have felt, how Jesus must have felt. And they were really able to take that to heart and learn what it feels like to love someone in front of you in this way. And we have a saying in business, and I work with the kids to incorporate this, is, what does love look like for the person in front of you right now? And that's probably the biggest message that I like to explore with the kids, is, instead of comparing yourself to people, instead of being afraid, how does it feel to shift into, how could I love this person?
Yeah.
What does this look like for the person in front of me? Because love looks different. It doesn't have to be ushy gushy. It can come from just, saying hello, smiling to someone. You never know where somebody's at and what a difference you can make.
Yeah. That's excellent. And what I find really fascinating is all the ups and downs, the highs and the lows, the COVID meltdown, being tossed out on your own as a 15-year-old girl. And Jill, I found that the journey to a life of significance is like that. It's full of highs and lows and twists and turns and unknown roads and unexpected outcomes. And yours has certainly been like that. Mine has too. And I think along the way, you've learned, like I have, that the real magic of life comes not from just getting through those struggles, but from when you're giving to others, from living in the purpose that God has for you. So will you share with us the impact that has resulted from using the humbling of life's challenges to offer others a powerful message of hope, love, and inspiration and purpose through the 37 years of service with your ever-evolving Executive Shine business?
For me, loving people, choosing to love people has saved me. Whenever I'm down in any kind of way, I have to serve, like just getting out of my head into my heart and just serving with my whole soul. And so that has made a big difference for me. So it has gotten me through those highs and lows. And then when I'm serving from that place, it really opens up all of heaven for these magic things to show up, is all I can say. It's the truth. And because I don't know how it happened, but now when we focus on just loving people in everything that we do and in all the various ways, that's the way that's what nourishes my heart.
Yep. And you made me think of something I've heard a little while ago. I heard it on the radio and then I read it like the very next day, the same thing. And it's about all of heaven that you mentioned. It says the present moment is the intersection between time, our time, and eternity. And so when you're living in the present moment, or when you're teaching people to just give love to the person right in front of you, that's the present moment.
Absolutely.
And that's when all of heaven opens up, because he's always there. We're just not there.
Right.
Right.
That's when I love that saying. And that's when real connection happens, when real presence happens, something amazing is created when two people's energy is blessed by the whole spiritual energy. And I don't know how that all works together, but it's magic.
Maybe the magic of life comes when it's ordinary people doing extraordinary things by giving their time and treasures and God-given talents to improve the lives of others. This show exists to inspire others to create their own version of our happy formula. You have it. It's creating the personal power that you need to take good care of yourself and your family. It's discovering and living your purpose, or God's reason for putting you on this planet. And it's giving to others, lifting them up and helping them live better lives. So that's what we call our happy formula: capacity times purpose times giving equals happy to the third power. And that's really, truly, deeply happy. Does that sound about right to you, Jill?
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Wonderful.
And then that's what gives you the energy to keep going. You know, it fuels you. I know you've experienced that, but the more you give, it's really crazy, because the more you do that, the more you get. I mean, your heart fills up and it's like overflowing. And that's what is restorative to your spirit.
And that energy, I call that the difference between earthly energy, physical fitness, mental fitness, financial fitness. Those are all earthly energies. They're all finite. When you use them, you got to replenish them. But spiritual energy, love, purpose, doing what you were created to do, that is spiritual energy. And the more love you give, the more you have to give. And if you can, that's what this is all about. If you can figure out how to shape your life around your purpose, this energy is available to you. And then you're crazy like me and Jill, always happy, always excited. You can't wait for the next day. Even if you're going through hard times, you still are just excited, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing, I think that when you live in your authentic purpose and you embody that love and that presence, I think it does something amazing for the person in front of you as well. It models what that embodying that it gives them permission to fully express their divine purpose as well. That's something that I've really noticed is it
And
touches them in a magic way.
and it also touches people who are watching that,
Yes.
even if they're not involved in it, they get picked up by the rippling of love. So,
Yeah.
all right,
They
Jill,
do.
this is awesome. Thank you so much. But let's wrap things up with the lightning round. I love the power of words and the capacity for great quotes to change lives. So I'm going to read a few of my favorites to you and have you tell us what they mean to you. Give us the first thing that comes to mind because we call it a lightning round. So here we go. From Mother Teresa. It's not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving.
Yeah. That means where are you giving from?
From Rumi, he says, of all you see, we just talked about this, of all you see, only love is infinite.
Absolutely. When you tap into that energy, that's where your power is. That's where your answers are. That's where your joy is. All of that.
This is from Billy Joel paraphrasing Socrates. The more I learn, the less I know.
That is so true. That is so true. When you're young, you think you know, and the longer you live, the more you realize I gotta surrender because I don't know anything.
Yeah, yeah. This is a little long. It's from Naomi Long Madget, but I love it. So she says, I wouldn't coax the plant if I were you. Such watchful nurturing may do it harm. Let the soil rest from so much digging and wait until it's dry before you water it. The leaf is inclined to find its own direction. Give it a chance to seek the sunlight for itself. Much growth is stunted by too careful prodding, too eager tenderness. The things we love, we have to learn to leave alone.
Absolutely. You have to love people enough to let them be and to honor their process because we don't all go through the same thing the same way or in the same time. So what love means to me is holding the belief of and the vision of what you see them, the potential of them embodying the full potential. To use this analogy, to see the plant in full bloom, but to be there to support it when it gets dry, whenever it needs you, and not to over control, because getting in the way, it never does anybody any good. You have to
Correct.
honor the process for people and honor the different ways of growth.
Yep. Very good. Last one. This is our show anchor. You know it well. Whatever from Goth, whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now.
Absolutely. Get started. And every little step counts.
Yep.
And see where you want to go and just keep going. Don't quit.
That's it.
Never quit.
Beautiful. All right, folks, now it's your chance to be a giver too. If you can hear my voice and you were inspired by today's show with Jill Wright, the Queen of Shine, please share some love with our magnificent broadcast team by giving what you can to WITV7. They're a 501c3 charity on a mission to educate, empower, and encourage. They do good works with your kindness. Jill, I love your mission to provide shoeshine service that's powered by love and setting the quality standard for the industry as professionals serving professionals. And I admire your passion for building trust and respect and connection with your Shine experience, teaching executives and children how they can become effective servant leaders that they must be able to properly receive as well as to give. And I'm super happy that you've shared your surrender to God and optimism through struggle on our show today. Would you please take a moment or two and share any parting remarks you'd like to leave with our audience?
The parting remark I just would like to say is love yourself. Take the time to take care of yourself. Believe in yourself. See the potential in your future. Take it one step at a time. Don't beat yourself up. And always say, what does love look like here? Not
Mm,
only for everybody in front of you, but what does love look like here for me?
yeah.
Because if you don't have a solid place to start,
Yep.
then you don't have anything to give. So just remember that and keep that saying. It's an easy saying. What does love look like here? For my coworkers, for my team, for my dog, for everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jill. And I also want to thank WYTV7 for hosting and promoting our show so we can keep interviewing inspiring guest stars like Jill and reaching folks just like you ready to create your own extraordinary lives. And most especially, thank you, viewers and listeners. You'll find links to websites and social media and all things Jill Wright. Find her, friend her. She's on Facebook and LinkedIn, and you can reach her at executiveshine.com. That's EXECUTIVESHINE.com. One more time, executiveshine.com. From me to you, dear friends, I love you and I want you to be really, truly, deeply happy too. So go to happyliving.com right now and take our happy quiz. Because when you measure your happy, you'll focus attention on it, and focusing attention on it inspires change and learning and improvement, all to flow right into your life. And once you take the quiz, I hope you'll give some thought about what we can do together, you and me, right now to improve the happy of your world, one person at a time. Till next time, I'm Matt Gersper. You are awesome, and this is the Something Significant Show. And to close the show, Jill, would you like to meet Piper?
I would love to.
Okay, let's see if we can meet Piper. Here's her crate. Piper, you want to come out and meet Jill? Come on, little girl.
Piper.
Come on. Come on. You want to say hi?
True dog love.
There she is.
Oh,
There she is.
so beautiful, Matt.
Thank
I
you.
think dogs are four-legged angels from heaven.
Very good. All right, folks, we're out.